Namaste. Good morning. This is my first video of 2023. And lots have been in my mind, like always. Not only the monkey mind I've learned to ignore, but the higher mind, the mind that's working, the awakened mind that keeps me busy. It's part of the spiral, right? The spiral that continues ever upward, non-ending. But I like to listen to music, and I listened to a song, and this was a lyric from the song. I kind of paraphrase it, so I don't feel obligated to give credit for this. But what I took away from the song is, one day one of us will have to go. And the bottom part of that is, one of us will have to spend some days alone. So, being part of a partnership, being married, I thought this was a great way to greet the new year. It might sound morbid or not, but I celebrate passing. Passing is just another part of the journey, right? We've all passed many, many, many times. Some of us more than others. Some of us will pass sooner than others. But I just thought, well, yes, one day one of us will have to go. And that's the side that people focus on, that they tend to dwell on. It's self-centered, right? Self with a little s. Because the big self, of course, is all of us, each and every one of us. All the raindrops that fall into the sea, the ocean of souls. Those of us in this category, the ones that are aware of this larger self, and the self that never dies, it's infinite. So what if this human form is going to pass? It will pass. It'll go back to from whence it came. Nutrients and part of Mother Earth. And probably, depending, I want my ashes thrown into the sea, so it won't have to trickle down from under a tree and then down through the ground. And I want to just throw those ashes out into the sea. And I had this experience with my mother's ashes. I rescued them from my sister's closet. I say rescued, but she was keeping them, and she's sort of the keeper of the family legacy. And I took my mom's ashes to Ventura County, near county line, just below Rincon. Those of you that know on 101, those of you know that Ventura, that area. And Paul Paulson, a good brother of mine, who's recently, his time has come. And I remember his wife telling me that he was ready to go. And I thought, what a beautiful thing to say. What a beautiful thing to say. What an attitude. Paul was a brother, a spiritual brother, everything, a brother and everything but blood, but raised together. And Paul and I, how fitting this is. Paul and I waded out into the Pacific to spread my mom's ashes. And I did save a little bit. I probably don't have to look far to find that. I bought some little urns, little replicas of little tiny urns that held little brass urns that I gave, one from my sister, one from my brother, and I have one. So somewhere over there, my mom's ashes is not too far, just a little of them that I saved. But the rest went to the sea. So anyway, here we are. One day, one of us will have to go. Yeah, okay. But the other side, that probably hit me harder, is one of us will have to spend some days alone. And I'm significantly much older than my wife, so the chances are pretty good that my day will come, but then she'll have to spend some days alone. And fortunately, she's good at spending time alone, which all of us should cultivate. I'm quite good at spending time alone. Even though I'm married, she spends a lot of time, a couple hours away in the Taipei city, because that's where her work is where she can make money, and then I'm more the countryside dweller. So we're a 2-hour train ride apart a lot of the times. Sometimes she'll be down here. Seldom will I go up there because I'm just too slow for the city. I'm so slow that you have to look twice to make sure I'm moving. And it's just, in the city, I feel like I'm always in somebody's way. And it is just too much. Everybody's in a hurry to go nowhere. Too many reminders of how far my fellow humans, no matter how full my heart is of compassion and love for them, how many roads they still have to travel. Because they're not even aware of their purpose, of our purpose, of our objective, to remember the forgotten. They're not even there yet. And they may be tens of thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of lifetimes. So anyway, city's just too much for me. But I wonder which is more alone, here in the countryside or in the city. I tend to think that the people are more lonely in the city than they are in the countryside. I think it's easier in the countryside to have relationships, to know people and to see them on a regular basis and be neighborly. And because you tend to be not in such a rush. But anyway, this is the dog day afternoons. The dog day afternoons, the middle of the Chinese New Year. So New Year for me is different than it is for most people. Chinese New Year's is the time for me to hunker down and just stay at home, go shopping, prepare. I have to prepare for this holiday because I don't want to go out with the masses. It's just, again, I live in a tourist destination, so even though normally it's relatively quiet, small little city, more of a bigger town than a smaller city, actually, but it's a tourist destination, so everybody's out there. They don't know how to drive. They don't know where they're going. I don't mean they don't know how to drive. They forgot how to drive because they're on vacation, right? And they're not familiar. Anyway, it's a bad time. I get out there on my bicycle, and I make sure I head towards where they're not going to be. People will tend to be on the coast here, the coastal route, which is beautiful. But if I go up to the mountains and go inland, I'll just run across occasional straggler looking for a B&B, kind of more remote B&B that we have a plethora of, and you can see the cars. And so it's easier to deal with somebody in a little streets, little small neighborhood than the big thoroughfares that people have to whiz through to get to where they're going. But again, we're getting back to the second half. One of us will have to spend some days alone. Yes. In many respects, those who pass on have the easier task. Those that move on have the easier task than those left behind. In fact, I've been spending quite a bit of time trying to get rid of things, trying to deal with things so that my wife won't have to deal with them once I'm gone. I don't want to leave a footprint, a burden, and I still have too many things. If you can see some things in the background, it's going to have all those things. And I've just been eliminating and trying to pare down and simplify. And I've never been one to accumulate, but just to survive in this world, I look at my desk, and you can't see where I'm looking, but geez, everything I need everything to do what I'm doing now with you. But all of it has to have a final place. So think about the one that has to spend some days alone. Celebrate your own passing, whether it's far, far away or gets closer every day. And that's really true for everybody. It does get closer every day. So we'll have to go. But again, think, plan, love, consider that one of us, or more than one of us, will have to spend some days alone. You're gone so that your spirit, your memories, your love remain. But this form that's looking at you will change. Mine will be burned up into ashes and scattered. And that was just my New Year's sharing. And I'll let it go. I'll let it go here. So one day, one of us will have to go. And one of us will have to spend some days alone. Namaste.